Hi warriors, it's Hanne here and welcome back to another video. Triathlon, rest days, intuitive eating, lots of restaurants, a weekend out. What more do you want? I'm not used to taking full-on rest days, as in no gym, no work, nothing, no musts. But I did for 3 days, and I'm learning how to take good care of myself and take these kinds of days now. So it was lush. It started with a very early wake up and a very early breakfast before heading off. Breakfast was a chia seed pudding, fruit and granola. And then that was followed by lots and lots of car snacks. Whilst Evelyn drove, Tom and I had the bag of goodies at the back with us. In the past, I couldn't think of anything worse than a travel day, but nowadays, I know that these are super exciting, and I love me a good road trip. Once we arrived in Sevilla, lunch. We were hungry. For lunch, we went to a vegan restaurant, which offered all sorts of vegan goodies, and I went for the dirtiest one. A bacon, cheese and egg burger with chips. We also shared a tortilla. It was nothing like an egg. It looked like an egg, but it was nevertheless delicious, very intense. The place also had cakes and all sorts, so it's fun to have a little look around. Before then, looking around Sevilla some more. The reason we came. Being a tourist was great fun, but it was also incredibly hot. So Evelyn found a massive ice chunk, which we carried around for quite a while and which brought us great relief. Once we tossed that out though, the heat quickly started getting to us, so we went for ice cream. Spontaneous ice cream is one of the best things about food freedom and holidays to me. So I loved it.
Flop. Goodbye.
By the time we got back, we were all really tired, so we ended up just having some leftovers from the night before. A pesto-tomato-y pasta and some quinoa, and quite a few muffins and some fruit. Yes, it's really been quite a snacky day for me today, and that's fine. I don't really question it. It's been a busy week and yeah, I deserve to eat whether or not it has been a busy week or a busy day. Whether it's a rest day, an active rest day, or a full-on rest day or a full-on exercise day, busy day, whatever day, I am allowed to eat. My body needs fuel, no matter what. There was a time when I used to question every single last decision. Did I eat too much? Not enough? And it is tricky initially, I give you that, but it does get better with time. Time heals. Practice makes progress. And whilst from time to time everyone does under or overeat for whatever reason, the important thing is not to feel guilty about it, to move on and to know that on the whole, that relationship with food is so much freer and it's amazing. It's worth fighting for. The next morning, fruit and Weetabix before a walking tour. I love free walking tours. During the tour, I had myself a bar before we then went to a restaurant for another thing I absolutely love. Cheap Spanish day menus. The day menu was delightful, and I started off with a avocado and mango gazpacho soup with lots of bread, followed by cannelloni and tinto de verano. Again, a really tasty lunch, a bit more sightseeing, and then just chilling back at the Airbnb and getting everything ready for Evelyn's race tomorrow.
What's your snack right there? Favorite snacky?
We had a fairly late dinner this night because we had so much going on during the day, but we still had a lot of food because regardless of the time of day, the body needs to eat. And whilst I definitely didn't snack as much as I did yesterday, the meals I did have definitely were quite filling. And even for lunch, I went for something like the avocado and mango gazpacho, which would have freaked me out in the past because, well, it wasn't necessarily the lowest calorie options I opted for today. Instead, I chose to listen to what I craved. And it was great because I felt satisfied after everything I ate, and I didn't have to second guess myself 1,000 times. Sunday morning breakfast. I ate on my own. Oats and half of Evelyn's race day pear and way too much milk. Before the others and I also made our way to the race day start, where Evelyn was awaiting us. It was her big Olympic triathlon day, so we were cheering her on and eating little snackies here and there as we did so. It was good fun following around, and thankfully it wasn't 40 degrees anymore. However, after a poor night's sleep, I was quite tired. We returned to the Airbnb for some leftover rice with pretty much nothing else, because everything else had been finished the night before, and then made our way to Tapas for about 4 p.m, where we shared a range of different tapas. Evelyn and I then made our way back to the Airbnb because although she was very much still keen to do some more exploration, I was tired and I just crashed on the sofa for a bit. Around 8 o'clock, we then started to make our way back to Casa Arts, with a little stop at a dodgy little cafe restaurant by the side of the road for a massive vegan pizza and of course some olives, which Evelyn, Tom and I shared between the three of us. After that, I'm pretty sure I just plonked. I food comaed my way through the rest of the drive and it was lovely. Anyway, little did I know in the past, when I was struggling with my eating disorder, that nowadays, a few years on, I'd be going on a road trip, eating snacks in the car, following my hunger cues and my cravings, eating pizza, burgers, ice cream, and everything else I had. And I promise you, even that freedom in and of itself makes recovery so damn worth it. On rest days where I do absolutely nothing, or do a bit of exploration, I still eat what I want. It doesn't make a difference to me whether I exercise or not, because I don't focus on what I have and how much I have. I focus on how my body feels. And if I want that ice cream, I'm going to have that ice cream, whether or not I exercise that day. So, on the whole, it's been a lovely weekend. It's had its ups and downs, but I haven't let those influence the food that I eat, because food is no longer a coping mechanism for me. Food is just food. It is fuel. It is socializing. It is so much more, but it's not a coping mechanism. It is not a way to try and deal with my emotions. So there you have it. Everything I ate on a weekend in Sevilla. I hope you enjoyed the video. A particular massive thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon, and see you all again next week for another video.